Hey guys, it's your boy MKS here back with another video. Hope everyone's well. Um, I hope as many people who support Africa and want to see Africa do well, especially or including technology, will support this video as well as the other ones I'll be making. It'd be great to have as much support as possible, of course. But if I can ever monetize my videos, as I said before, I'll give that money to things like, in this case, African tech. So all being well, in the future, if I do get enough views, I will donate those profits or money or whatever towards the development of African tech, like helping people in Africa to get educational games and toys and things like that, maybe even make their own games in the future, and that sort of thing, like African game makers and Africa being empowered in all areas of tech. Anywho, I'm going to crack on with the list and hope people out there will enjoy it. Continuing on from part 1 and 2, please check those out if you haven't already done so. And so here goes. So number 21, A.I.T would stand for the African Institute of Tech, and it's named as after the Indian Institute of Tech, I.I.T. But obviously that's the Indian version, and this will be the African version of that. And hopefully learn a lot from India, and again have mentors and teachers, role models, maybe like tuition. I'm sure most people know what tuition is. Like traditionally, tuition is like where people learn about maths or science, English and things like that, maths, English, science and whatnot. But in this case, it could be like, I wonder if in the future, like technology will be a part of tuition, and hopefully Africa will learn as much as possible. I'd say when it comes to tech, pretty much all my goals and ideas and plans are to benefit Africa and also like Aborigines and Maoris and people like that. So basically indigenous people from Africa and Australasia, especially women, but again, people of all ages and backgrounds. So yeah, hopefully people from India will teach and train up and that sort of thing. People from Africa, and again, people from Africa will go to India as well and like learn from the I.I.Ts and all that sort of thing. And like I.I.Ts could also be set up in places like South Africa and across Africa, hopefully encouraging like Central Africa to find peace, and then they could have institutions like this hopefully in the future as well, preferably ASAP. Number 22, again, I hope to look at how Africa can change and how it can lead in the tech space, and how we can bring people together with shared goals and visions to support each other, and again, like making Central Africa peaceful and supporting Central African places in terms of technology. And like Central Africa could be a pan-African tech hub as well. 23, again, I'd love to encourage as many people as possible to set up crowdfunds, GoFundMe, and whatever other things. Personally, I don't have any experience of those things, and funny enough, I'm not really that good at tech myself, so it would be quite an irony if my ideas somehow benefited Africa in technology, as well as Aborigines and Maoris and people like that. So I'd love this to be part of a wider sort of thing about STEM education for Africa and Aborigines and Maoris and people like that. And as I say, as much fundraising as possible, and looking into all possible ways to get funds for African tech. And things like what I talked about before, like the Mark Zuckerberg, the August Zuckerberg charity, which could look into how to benefit African tech in honor of August Zuckerberg, and also like when she's older, she could like possibly. Again, these are just my ideas, so I'd love to hear what people think, and maybe some people might disagree with them, or maybe they. I don't know how many are practical or feasible, but hopefully as many as possible are, preferably all of them. But it would be interesting if Mark Zuckerberg, and Chan Zuckerberg agreed with this and like set up that charity in honor of their daughter, just as they did with I think it was Maxie Zuckerberg or something like that, when she was born. They did like stuff where they gave away a certain amount of their stock in Facebook and things like that. So I think it'd be great if they could do stuff like that. And also, like I said before, like her birthday, I think is a day before mine. Like hers, I think on the 28th of August, if I'm not mistaken. So I think it'd be great if, as things like the Giving Pledge, invested specifically in targeted training of African people in tech, and they were a major part of tech, transporting or exporting, rather, sorry, their tech around the world, and as many countries and companies from countries around the world supporting African tech. And yeah, just as much many fundraising ideas as possible. Like I say, the Giving Pledge, like the August Zuckerberg initiative, perhaps for like training African tech, and also Africa in tech, sorry, and also yeah, things like that. And I say I'd love to have planned it a bit better and organised it. Like ideally, I'd love companies to give as much money as they can. Maybe it would be something to do next year, like in August 2021, all being well. Obviously now it'd be quite difficult with the coronavirus and things like that, but maybe next year, from August 2021, like companies to give as much of their profits from August as possible. I'd love to encourage that, as it's my birth month, as I say, and that sort of thing. As I said before, like I'd love to support Asia or other places as well in other areas, but so they could be like giving, maybe not all the money from the Giving Pledge could go towards African tech, but maybe quite a lot of it. An agreed percentage, as I say, and people like Warren Buffett who have donated to and some of the richest people in the world, and maybe even like mentors. I think I've heard of someone who is a billionaire in technology, and he's like Anglo-Irish, which is sorry, not Anglo-Irish, Indian-Irish, which is similar to my background. As an Anglo-Indian, I've got some Irish blood as well, and I think many Eurasians are classed as Anglo-Indian as well. So it'd be great to see my fellow Anglo-Indians also supporting African tech, which I think would be quite interesting, because our backgrounds are European and Asian, but it'd be great if we could also support African tech and mixed race people around the world and that sort of thing. And number 24, again, I'd love all of Africa to come together as a Pan-African group and network and trade with each other, but also other countries like Russia and India, China, and places like that, and Japan, when they go into Africa to teach, they could teach young Africans as part of their trade deals. As previously stated, like so, Japan and South Korea could teach things like game making, excuse me, or other areas of tech, and India could teach like the I.I.T, and maybe even countries like China and Israel and places like that could also, and other parts of Europe and Asia could also go and teach, and like companies like Microsoft could donate their taxes towards this sort of thing, and like train people and have schools for girls especially, and also boys, some unisex, some like specifically for boys or girls, and that sort of thing. Number 25, I'd love to work with companies like organizations like Tech Republic Africa, network with those who want to support African tech. As I say, everyone who wants to support African tech, I'd love to network with them and share ideas and look at how we can fundraise and how we can do these sorts of things, whether they're religious organizations like churches or mosques, or Islamic or Christian charities, overseas aid and things like that, or even other religious or other such groups who want to support, again, anyone who wants to support African tech. I'd love to network with them, and as I say, it could be a wider part of STEM and things like that. Number 26, again, I think like all the taxes that are collected through tech, I'd love, one of my quirky dreams, another one of my quirky dreams is as many taxes that are collected from tech companies, big tech companies like Facebook, Apple, Oracle, IBM, Microsoft, and so on and so forth. As many, basically all tech companies really, I would love as much of their taxes as possible to go into Africa to train people in tech, and that could be like part of overseas aid, but it's specifically targeted, which I hope will help them. And this could be part of like reparations for the past historical injustices, like reparations through helping Africa in technology. Number 27, I'd love to have a list of the top supporters of African technology, whether that's companies, individuals, countries, maybe even continents that have helped African tech, and which governments in Africa have supported their people most in terms of unifying them and getting them together in tech, and like having excuse me, award and reward ceremonies for those who have supported African tech. Again, these are all ideas, so I hope to look into how that could be facilitated, and like also like tech summits, conferences, and all sorts of things like that. 28, hopefully through helping African tech, we can help to solve a lot of their problems, such as disasters, natural disasters, diseases, illnesses. And I think it'd be quite ironic if Africa not only helped its own people, but exported these cures or even preventions of diseases and illnesses, and support for preventing natural disasters, or at least helping those who go through them. If Africa went from a country that was seen as relying on the rest of the world to becoming one that did a lot for the in terms of solving these problems, not just for themselves, I say, but for the rest of the world. I hope that made sense. 29, I hope to encourage as many people as possible, especially mixed race and people of colour, and even learn disabled people, like people who are dyslexic or autistic or have Asperger's or dyspraxia or dyslexia, autism, and so forth, even ADHD perhaps, or other neurodiverse conditions, to go to parts of Africa and train their fellow dyslexics in Africa. So someone who I know likes Stu, maybe if I could convince him or find a way that maybe he could, who works for Microsoft, could go to, and other people who work for Microsoft and companies like that, could go to parts of Africa and train their fellow dyslexics, and again autistics could do something similar through like conferences and events, summits and things like that, to train, as I say, their fellow dyslexics and whatnot. And number 30, again, I'd love to hear your ideas. Sorry if this video dragged on a bit, and hopefully I didn't repeat too many points. As ever, I'd love to know what you think. And I am out. Peace out.